I had the chance as a player. It passed me by for various reasons. I'm going to enjoy myself tonight and tomorrow night and the night after that.
And former Scotland midfielder John Collins believes no one deserves this more than Clarke.
It's been 4 years, 8, 12, 16, 24, 27. Here we are. At last, we can put it to bed. The Tartan Army are going to be there where they should be. They brighten up every tournament they go to.
Meanwhile, Danny Murphy says Scotland captain Andy Robertson could be Liverpool's best ever left-back.
Robertson's been amazing, really. He's back in the team now for Liverpool for a reason, because they know how reliable he is and what a leader he is. In terms of longevity, consistency, the things he's won, okay, he's not won as many as people back when Liverpool win every year, but he's still been part of a really successful era and made that position his own for years.
As Wales made the playoffs, Harry Wilson says the Cardiff Stadium will intimidate whoever they get. Elsewhere, Steve McLaren has stepped down as Jamaica head coach as they failed to reach the World Cup. Meanwhile, if being the leader of the free world isn't enough to impress your son, what can you do? Introduce him to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Darren got to meet him, and I think he respects his father a little bit more now, just the fact that I introduced you. So I just want to thank you both for being here. Thank you very much.
Ronaldo was at the White House for a dinner alongside Gianni Infantino and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And ahead of the first Ashes test, the Perth groundsman says this month's Metallica gig at the Optus Stadium has not stopped him producing a decent pitch.
Every year we say, the cracking's going to be there, it's going to be there. That's not going to change. The cracks will be present later in the game. What I really knuckled down this preparation is ensuring that pace and bounce is spot on for day one to ensure that even battle.
England have gone with pace in their 12-man squad. Mark Wood and Jofra Archer are set to start a test together for the first time in 5 years. There's more on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube channel.
A very good evening. You are listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT, and for the next 2 hours, it's an Ashes preview show. I'm your host, Sam Ellard, and alongside me for the next 2 hours, talkSPORT's cricket editor Jon Norman and an England legend, Darren Gough. After weeks, months of build-up, the wait is nearly over. In just over 30 hours' time, the first ball will be bowled in the 25-26 Ashes series as Bazball faces its toughest and most important test yet. After winning in 10-11, England have lost the last 3 series in Australia by 5-0, 4-0 and 4-0 scorelines, but they've now got a clear game plan and plenty of confidence under Ben Stokes and coach Brendan McCullum. It's a different England team, and we're all believing they can pull off the incredible achievement. It is one of the best sporting events, so sit back and get ready for 6 weeks of brilliant cricket. Here we go then, it's time for the Ashes.
That's it, it's all over. Australia win in Hobart, they win the 5th test, and more importantly, they win this Ashes series 4-0.
Loads of us has-beens and never will-be's have been there before. Now it's down to these guys.
Cummins in again, and it's hit away for 4! England have won this match in the most extraordinary circumstances.
It feels like we've got a great opportunity, more so than that I've seen in the last 15 years. We've got a great opportunity to go there and do something special.
This series is the first time since probably 10-11 where I've sat here and gone, England have got a chance.
Put the beer away, put the champagne on ice. 24 years of pain in Australia. Finally, they're beaten at home by England.
History suggests we need to start well. If you go down in the first test, it's a long way back in Australia.
It'll all come down to the result in the first test. England win it, like I say, he can say what he wants.
They've got their best chance to beat Australia in Perth right now with the team that they've got.
So it all starts in the very early hours of Friday morning. Perth is the venue, and over the next 2 hours, we will be previewing absolutely everything. Jon Norman and Darren Gough, back where he belongs, by the way, in the talkSPORT studio with me for the next 2 hours. Excited, boys?
Absolutely. I think we're all set for an unbelievable series. The build-up has been outstanding, as you would expect. the Australian media have started where they've left off from the last series there. And England have took it all in the stride. Guess what? Still playing golf, still practising hard, and a belief that they're going to win the Ashes. Now, whether they do, it's a different story. But the belief from Stokes and Team England is as strong as I've ever seen it.
John, you've covered lots and lots of Ashes cricket. How would you assess this build-up compared to other Ashes series?
Every single Ashes series. I remember being out there in 06, 07. I mean, Gough was out there in the 90s. And every single Ashes, when you're out in Australia, all the talk is, this is the biggest ever. The build-up is the biggest ever. You know, this is the most intense, the most excitement. This one, I would say, you've got to go back. You may have to go back 20 years for excitement on this level. Because, of course, 20 years ago, England had actually dared to win in 2005. So when they went out to Australia in 06, they were hell-bent, the Aussies, on beating the English.
And they did.
And boy, did they. Boy, did they. This one, I think there is more uncertainty and more question marks about this Ashes series than any other, maybe in 40 years. There is so many variables, and we've already seen some of them come out to play. Pat Cummins injured, Josh Hazlewood injured. Now flip that round. It always used to be the English. Gough here missed some tests.
2001, I went home without bowling a ball.
Right. You know, the likes of Graham Thorpe or Marcus Trescothick, Michael Vaughan, big names with proven records in Australia. And what would happen when an Ashes series came around? They'd be on the first plane back, or they wouldn't even make the plane out there in the first time. This time, it's the Aussies doing it, but whilst it all looks rosy now, you know, one stiff back or one twinged hamstring, and everything changes again. And I think that's why it is such an exciting build-up to this series.
Well, the other reason there's a build-up, right, is because it's all been about this brand of cricket England are playing. It's not new to Australia. Australia have been playing this brand of cricket since early 90s, right? They were doing that. Michael Slater was slapping it the first over of a test matches from that 94 series. It was ridiculous the way he played. Gilchrist carried it on. Hayden carried it on. Ricky Ponting scored at a big, fast rate. So there's no difference now. It's just that England are doing it. It's the first time England have done it, really. And the build-up is being picking a side purely for 4 years with everything built around the Ashes. Normally, it's 2 years you're building up for the Ashes. This team have been building for 4 years just for this moment. So that's what makes it big as well.
What we know is England have named a 12-man squad. Shoaib Bashir is part of that 12-man squad alongside 5 pace bowlers for that first test match. Mark Wood has been past fit. He's alongside the other seam bowlers, Jofra Archer, Gus Atkinson and Bryden Carse. As expected, Ollie Pope is going to play at 3. There's no Jacob Bethel in the 12. Gough, we think England are going to go all-out seam. Shoaib Bashir is going to be the man to miss out. Are you a fan of that?
Well, I think we have no choice. And the reason I'm saying that is that Ben Stokes has played one game. I know he got 6 for, but they were all caught out on the boundary. I think he was embarrassed about it, wasn't it, at Lily Gill?
Some of the shots were so bad, I was surprised the England media team even put up the highlight reel.
I know. He was embarrassing, wasn't
it? Here's how good Ben Stokes is. It's here's how some of our batsmen got out playing stupid shots.
Which is a worry, really. Yes. Kind of, this is the big argument about the way England play. Sometimes it's a little bit mad. There's not much thinking going behind it. And it just goes to show that the next in line players are all playing the same brand of cricket. And the plan of that 2-day game was to play the brand of cricket they're going to play in this series. So England attacked when they batted. You saw the run rates they scored at. And England A did exactly the same. And they were brave in declaring and giving England the best chance of winning that game. Mm-hmm. Another 180 runs, and England would have probably lost that warm-up game against the A side. So it was interesting, wasn't it? But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be absolutely massive. It really, really is.
John, 5 seam bowlers, or would you like to see the spinner Shoaib Bashir play?
I'd like to see the spinner playing.
Shut up, John.
I understand.
He's old school.
No.
We can't because of the injuries. Sorry, I should have answered that. The reason, just quickly, the injuries we've had is probably putting us in a position. I don't think we need 5 seamers, but with Ben Stokes just bowling that one game, Mark Wood limping out after 3 overs, not played since February, and Jofra Archer bowled 8 overs, didn't he? Bowled 8 overs in each year. It's not a lot. So I think the uncertainty around those 3 is making them play Carse and Atkinson as well.
Yeah, you only have to go back one test match when Chris Wokes, part of a 4-man bowling attack with Jacob Bethel as the spinner, and Wokes gets injured at the end of day 1. A game that England would day 2, in a game England were dominating, and then of that, of course, put so much pressure on the likes of Jamie Overton, who subsequently semi-retired from red ball cricket within a week of that game, and Atkinson back in the side, and Bryden Carse. Now, England don't want to do that, right? But if you're asking me whether, if you put fitness to one side or injury to one side, injury concerns to one side, whether 5 seamers is a way forward, I just got the feeling that if Shoaib Bashir is going to take a wicket, it's probably on a pitch which is going to give him a bit of bounce. And I also think plan A, when it works, if it works, and England rattle through the top order and Australia 112 for 7, and, you know, Jofra Archer's got all the left-handers out and Mark Wood's blasted a couple of out and Stokes hasn't had to bowl too much and that's all good, and Atkinson's got one early. Great, right? I'm all in. But does 5 bowlers really change much? I think if England are going to make that successful start, the chances are they're going to do it with 4. If the conditions are so suited to right-arm fast bowlers, 4 bowlers should be enough, but they can't risk asking too much of Wood or Archer or Stokes.
Stokes is our best bowler, by the way. Stokes is our best bowler.
Best bowler in the summer, wasn't he?
He's the best bowler, full stop.
One man who we think should be part of the seam attack is Gus Atkinson. He's one of many players in the England squad who are touring Australia for the very first time. He says that lack of experience could be a good thing.
There's a few of us who haven't really played many test matches in Australia, so you know, there are no scars for me, but for some others, I can't really speak for them, but history would say it's probably a good thing we're not starting at the Gabba. We've obviously got a lot of players who have played a lot, like Bruty and Stokesy and stuff, so you know, we can speak to them if needed, but no, I do think it's a good thing that a few of us are coming in with not too much experience here.
He said that they're Goughy, no scars. He hasn't been part. A lot of these players haven't been part of any of those 4-0, 4-0, 5-0 defeats. Sure, some experience could be a good thing at times, but also, is it a good thing? These boys are going to come, and we know there's that relaxed environment in and around the England team. Could this be a good thing for England?
Well, it was good for me in '94. I went out there. It was only my 4th test match. I got no experience of bowling in Australia. I went there with the England under-19s a few years earlier, but I can't remember much about that. I wasn't really the finished article. All I remember about going to Australia is, but Gus Atkinson's natural length will be too short. So as far as experience is concerned, as long as he knows he has to bowl a yard fuller, we're all right. We're in the ballpark. You have to hit the stumps with the new ball. You have to take wickets with the new ball. I know the pitches have been different the last 2 years, so there's a bit more help to the seamers. They're normally flat out there, so if you don't take wickets with a new ball, bat dominates until the next new ball. So that's the reason you need a good spinner in your side. But again, the wickets have slightly changed this last 3-4 years in Australia and become a lot more seam friendly. Nathan Lyon's work rate has been reduced, so it'll be interesting. As long as they get the length right, you don't need the experience, and it's been proven before.
Yeah, John, something that lots of people are speaking about is, Goughy mentioned there, the pitches. Very, very different what we're going to get this series to what we would have got 4 series ago. What have you made of the difference in pitches that have been created in Australia over the last few years, and how this could work to England's strength, perhaps?
Yeah, this is where, when we talk about all the variables coming into this series, if you throw in the fact that there's injury concerns surrounding both sides, when you throw into the mix that the lack of form of some of certainly the Australians, but you know, it's not like England have got a solid kind of like structure at the top of their innings either. When you throw in the fact that there isn't a lot and hasn't been a lot of cricket played at this ground. You know, traditionally, we talk about the Wacker. That's over the road. This is a different cricket ground from that. Stories are it's going to actually have more bounce than the Wacker used to, right? Well, we'll find out. Certainly the reports coming from the pitch suggest it's going to give a lot of carry, it's going to give a lot of bounce, it's going to be pace throughout. But then If you go back 12 months, that's a pitch that broke up, big time. So I think that this is where a lot of the question marks come in. The feeling is that if you look back at the last 2 years, Ben Stokes is a captain who likes to chase, right? He likes to insert the opposition. Now, Australia are going to bat first, right? Now, Gus Atkinson, you talk about bowling a little bit too short. Well, Bryden Carse as well. The natural lengths of a couple of these bowlers with very little experience of bowling in Australia, and they're going to be out there. Now, Jofra Archer is not going to be bowling 8-9 over spells, and Mark Wood certainly isn't. So those two bowlers are going to be coming in very early on against an Usman Khawaja, who is quite happy to sit on a bowler for 2 sessions. Marnus Labuschagne, possibly opening the batting. He has got more runs than pretty much anyone in Australia. Now, the pressure is going to be on England straight away. And if they don't nail it straight away, if they don't get in tune with those conditions straight away, it's not all about the batters and low hands and, riding the bounce and playing behind the wicket. It's the bowlers as well. We're just kind of assuming they're just going to get on with it and bowl Australia out for under 200, but they are going to have to hit their mark immediately. And if they don't, Australia will capitalise.
There is so much to discuss on this Ashes preview show this evening on Kickoff on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. It's 18+. Gambleaware.org. Throughout the course of the next couple of hours, we're going to hear from a lot of the players inside the England camp. Going to hear from some England legends like Michael Vaughan and Steve Harmson. We'll get the Australia side of things too with Jared Kimber. It's an Ashes preview show on talkSPORT with you until 10 o'clock this evening. Yeah, very good evening. You are listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT. It's an Ashes preview special with you until 10 o'clock this evening, looking ahead to the first test match between Australia and England, which gets underway in the early hours of Friday morning in Perth. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Alongside me, England cricket legend Darren Gough and talkSPORT's cricket editor Jon Norman. We're going to continue to sort of dissect the England team that's going to play in that first test match and take a look at England's chances. Some people saying England's best chance to win down under since 2010-11. But let's now hear from the former England captain Michael Vaughan. He's been speaking to talkSPORT. He says Ben Stokes' side need to play smart cricket if they're to win this series.
I've said many times this England side are the most enjoyable team that I've kind of have watched, have been a pundit on. They bring a great amount of joy to Test match cricket. Now I want them to win. You know, it's a series that's it's there for the taking. If they can understand that it's not about playing one way. You can't just play the aggressive way in Australia all the time. You have to go up and down in the gears. Yes, you have that mindset of wanting to be aggressive, but if you're facing Hazelwood, Stark, Pat Cummins, if he comes into the series in potentially the second or third game, Boland, Cameron Green, Bo Webster, Nathan Lyon, the bigger boundaries in Australia, you've got to be very wary that playing the aggressive game all the time. I haven't seen a team play that way and win in Australia. I've seen many teams earn the right to play that way, and from around the 30th over mark to the 80th over mark, when the ball's a bit softer, this Kookaburra ball is a different ball to an old Kookaburra ball that we used to play against. It seems to do a little bit more, and it might be that England have to play a bit attritionally for the first 20 overs to earn the right to be there when the ball's softer. The pitch is playing a lot pure with a more pure sense, and if they can do that and earn the right, they'll score quick enough anyway. My concern is, the ball moving around. They go too hard too soon, and you lose 5 or 6 wickets very quickly, which has happened before with the England team, and it's happened just recently in New Zealand in the white ball game.
Goughy, what are you expecting from the England top order? Is it going to just be Bazball, or can we maybe see a slight refinement? Sure, be aggressive at times, put the pressure on, but also be sensible. Know when to soak up pressure and see off a good spell.
Well, I really hope they do, because I think that's exactly the thoughts I've always been consistent with my views on. I love watching the way England play, but I think at times there is time to reflect on the game situation and just sit in and make sure you get over the line. The classic example was last year at the Oval. They'd done all the hard work, Harry Brook, and then they lost 7 for 70 and lost. And they ended up, drawing the series, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
and it should have been a series, really, with England winning that series. Because Australia and India were missing 4 of their best players. Let's be straight about it. So you go out there, you're going to have to be smart. I still think Crawley and Duckett are going to play their same way. They're going to be aggressive, and I don't think there's going to be any difference in the way they play. Pope, we know, is a nervous starter. He comes in, he's a nervous starter.
Frantic.
But once he gets in, he's a wonderful player to watch. I think Root, there's no doubt he will play proper cricket. And then Harry Brook will be interesting what he happens. Basically, he's heavily influenced by Ben Stokes, and the message he sends across when he's captain is exactly the same message as Ben Stokes sends across to his team. So he's basically a clone of Ben. So we know how he's going to play.
John, what are you expecting from this England top order? More of the same?
Yeah, I expect Zach Crawley to come out with his big booming cover drives.
First ball 4 again?
Yeah, if it's in the slot.
Or nick off.
Yeah,
he'll go for it.
It's either a 4 or a wicket, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And Australia know it. And Mitchell Stark will bowl that first ball, and he'll angle it and he'll slant it across.
Yeah.
And
then
Crawley
second one back in.
Well, if Crawley's still there, Crawley will go at it. He has to. That's why he's been in the side. Goughy talks about the preparation, the build-up. Zach Crawley is in this England side for these 5 Test matches, and he's pretty much been in this side since those 2 Test matches he played at the end of the last Ashes.
For this series. Yeah.
For this series, and he's got a 1-year central contract.
Explain to us why that'd be the case, John.
Well, the England selectors and the captain and the team believe that Zach Crawley, in Australian conditions, is suited to hard, flat after 20 overs. Bouncy wickets where he can use his height, his reach, long levers to essentially either drop short and pull or get on the front foot and drive. Problem is, the pitches that we expected 4 years ago and maybe 2 or 3 years ago these aren't really those kind of pitches.
Does he remind you a bit of Vince? I know Vince was more 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to.
You know how he's going to get out.
They thought he was going to be hugely successful in Australia, and actually that first test in Brisbane, he
got run out for 87.
Played beautifully, right?
That's a big what-if moment in cricket, right?
But how good did he look in Brisbane? And then he struggled, I think, the rest of the series. Well, he didn't struggle, but he didn't get the runs we wanted him to get.
I don't think I think that was the closest he got to a test century.
But Zach Crawley is exactly that sort of player. He's going to come on the front foot. He's good at dropping back and pulling, especially when he gets in. Now, I interviewed Michael Clarke the other day, and he talks about, yes, when you first go in, between the flags, down the ground, but once you're in, he said cutting and pulling in Australia is as good as it gets. If you can play those shots, you'll score quickly.
Towards the end of the summer, John, we saw Jacob Bethel in white ball cricket score his first international 100 for England.
He scored his first 100.
First 100, full stop in his professional career. And then maybe a month or a couple of months after that, we saw the vice-captaincy taken away from Ollie Pope and given to Harry Brook. And I think many people maybe put 2 and 2 together and thought that it'd be Jacob Bethel playing in the first Test match. We know it's not. We know it's going to be Ollie Pope. If you were in charge, would you have leaned towards Jacob Bethel, or is Ollie Pope right to keep his place in the team, do you think?
It doesn't leave you anywhere to go. If you bring Jacob Bethel in and he really struggles for 2 tests, what are you going to do? Right? I actually think England have got it wrong with Ollie Pope. I understand why there are question marks about Ollie Pope at number 3. To my eyes, he's not a natural number 3. I'd say to most people's eyes, he's not a natural number 3. Nervy starter. You need someone walking out to the crease that is going to instill confidence in the dressing room and his strike partner, that essentially he's there till lunch or tea or whatever. A Jonathan Trott type. Mm-hmm. England haven't actually had that many secured number 3s in the history of Test cricket, but that's a topic for another day.
He's got 9 Test 100s.
Ollie Pope. Look, Ollie Pope
averaging 45 this year in Test cricket.
Yeah, I know. You can use stats to argue both sides of the coin. This is a great thing with cricket, right? Ollie Pope, if his innings last 20 balls or more, he averages 50. But the problem is he doesn't reach 20 balls long often enough. Sure. And that is the huge problem you've got with Ollie Pope, because if he goes early, that means Joe Root's walking to the crease, the ball's moving around, the opposition are all over you. So I understand the question marks over Pope. Also, the other problem with Pope is if you look at his scores over the course of a series, it's diminished returns as the series progresses. He is a nervy guy, and he came into this building at the start of the summer. We were speaking off air, not that he was saying anything that he wouldn't say on air, I'm sure. He doesn't sleep a great deal, right? He thinks about the game a lot. And if you look at his record...
Well, Smith dumped, by the way.
Exactly right. and look at Steve Smith's batting record. Innings 1, ridiculous, 80, right? Something like that. Innings 2, a great. Innings 3, he's still a great. Innings 4, actually, that's where it falls away. And the same is true with Ollie Pope. First and second innings, you could, at the start of a Test series, you can pretty much hang your coat on him. As it goes on, less so.
So we've basically cracked it. Play him in the first Test match. Let him score a century, and then drop him right.
Yeah.
And also the great
when England are 2-0 up.
Perfect, beautiful. There we go. I hope Ben Stokes is listening to this. The great stories with Steve Smith, isn't it? That if you're rooming next to Steve Smith at 2 a.m, you can just hear a bat smashing against the floor.
He's not the first, mate.
Even
we had a load. Nasser Hussain, shocking. Graham Thorpe. Both of them exactly did that. They should have put them both together as roomies, but they were both shocking.
Steve Smith's changed. He's a Manhattan bohemian now. He doesn't play cricket. He doesn't even think about the game between Ashes series.
He's still going to average 60, isn't he, over the next few weeks? You're listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT. It's just coming up to 8:30. It's Sam Ellard, Darren Gough, Jon Norman with you until 10 o'clock this evening. Up next, we'll take a deep dive on spin bowling. How important, if at all, is spin going to be in this series? That's next on Kickoff on talkSPORT.
And there's success for Bashir. Phillips is playing back. He should have been coming forward. The ball kept a touch low. Off stump spin, push back.
The one thing for Bash is every time he's put on an England shirt, it's been a huge demand for him, but he's performed really well for us.
The amount of backing I get from the team in general is just incredible, and it just allows me to go out there and express myself, and that's all I ask for, really.
Turned out to short leg and taken. Nathan Smith has gone and Shoaib Bashir has another wicket.
I think the captain champions Bashir, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if the off-spinner Bashir plays.
A very good evening. You're listening to Kick Off on talkSPORT. It is an Ashes special this evening. It's Sam Ellard, England cricket legend, Darren Gough, and talkSPORT's cricket editor Jon Norman with you until 10 o'clock this evening, looking ahead to the start of the Ashes, which in what we're looking about 30 hours time, something like that. 2:30 a.m. we think, or 2:20. Is it 2:30 a.m. or 2:20?
I don't know.
What's going on there, John? Can you help me with that one?
I've messaged Dan Norcross, who's out in Australia, so hopefully in the course of the next hour and a half he gets back to him. I mean, he is in Perth right now.
With the anthems, wouldn't it?
So the anthem's from 2:20.
Yes.
And
No,
first ball.
no.
It
will be.
Various different websites online say either song.
I've never seen the start time
for the
when the
anthems,
anthems are.
Yeah.
It'll be there though, won't it? They're going to do it first test.
Well, they will do the anthems.
Well, there
I'm
you
not
go.
saying.
So they're just going to be on TV.
Well, we'll find out, right?
I think basically, if you want to make sure you get,
I mean, we should know.
But yeah, well, no. In our defence, I've looked at 50 different websites. 25 say 2:20. 25 say 2:30.
How many of those are cricket ones?
Half of them maybe. Anyway, if you want to catch the first ball, be awake for 2:20 in the morning, and then you definitely won't miss the first ball. And Goffer, you can maybe watch some anthems. Boys, for the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes, let's focus on spin bowling and how much kind of impact that's going to have in this series. Shoaib Bashir has been included in the squad for the first Ashes test, although we believe that he's going to be the man to miss out, and it's going to be an all-seam attack for England. Goffey, how big of a role will spin play over the next 6 weeks?
Well, I'm trying to think back to the last time an English spinner had success in Australia. I can't remember in 2010-11. Was
Swanee was swept to distraction by Michael Hussey, but actually you'd say had a successful series.
Decent series without being outstanding.
I'll check. He probably
check his averages. I wouldn't know because everyone I went on tour with, I think they struggled. They couldn't wait to get to Sydney. They didn't really have an influence in any of the games.
Why is that, Goffey?
Sydney. I just think Australia come at our spinners. I think John Embry had a good series over there in Ashes.
86, yeah.
Yeah, he got 25 wickets, didn't he? 25 wickets, which was massive. But the ones who have dominated in Ashes series, whether it be Warne, whether it be McGill, or whether it be Nathan Lyon, they've all had success. in Australia.
15, by the way, in 10-11. 15 wickets.
But at what average? That's
40.
Yeah, so
That's not
mid-30s.
great. Yeah, not great.
But he did a job. Look, I tell you what, if Bashir takes 15 wickets at 40, right, you'd take that right now.
Well, it's his career average, so that's where I would probably expect. I'm not expecting him to be any better than that realistically. He averages, 39 in Test cricket. Nathan Lyon averages just over 30. And I think that's because when he goes away now, Nathan Lyon, he struggles probably more when he goes to India and Pakistan and Sri Lanka. He tends to be the second spinner for Australia when he goes abroad. But in Australian conditions, he's mastered it. He gets that bounce, he gets that overspin, and that's why he's so effective. And this is why England picked Bashir. Purely picked a spinner.
For Australia, no?
For Australia. So again, this is one of the other reasons that England have planned 4 years in advance to make sure that they've got picked the right side to win in Australia. He's played, what's he played now? 19 test matches, Bashir. 19 tests already.
That's in 2 years, pretty much.
And he's probably played more test matches than first-class matches.
We can't get a game in
double. I would say he's probably played double the amount.
But then, John, there's something that surprised you is since Shoaib Bashir came into the England Test team, England have backed him, and at times he struggled, and at times he's looked like someone that maybe isn't quite ready now for Test match cricket. And as Goughy says, one thing in mind, those bouncier wickets in Australia, the overspin Goughy speaks about, they backed him all the way. And I appreciate Goughy mentioned about wanting the extra fast bowler, perhaps, with Wood not being fully fit. But I thought no matter what pitch they're going to get, no matter the fitness of the seamers, with the trust they've shown in Bashir leading up to the Ashes, I almost thought Bashir would have been as nailed on to play the first Test match as Joe Root would have been.
Well, two things. First off, Graham Swan took 5 for 91 at Adelaide in 2010-11 in second innings. And if it wasn't for him, that would have been a draw because the rain came in about half an hour after Australia bowled out in second innings. So, again, you take that. You're not, no spinner is going to be taking a 5 for, at the Gabba, right? It's
well, Warney did. McGill did.
English. I'm not talking about Shane Warne, right? But
he's the exception.
The other thing with Bashir is we talk about bounce, right? That is where you want to be playing Shoaib Bashir. Goughy has nailed it. The reason Bashir isn't playing is because of fitness. They cannot risk it, which is a real shame because it is all about plan A. And if plan A doesn't work, I'm not sure plan B is quite as evident. Go back a year, Christchurch. Now, to those people who aren't so into cricket, you'd think to yourself, well, New Zealand's relatively close to Australia, so the pitches must be quite similar. They're not, right? They're very, very different. But there is one similarity between Christchurch and Perth. They both bounce. Both of those pitches bounce. Hagley Oval is actually known as one of the pitches in world cricket which bounces more than any other. It gives bounce. Shoaib Bashir played in that Test match. It was the first Test match. And you couldn't move for people saying, why are they bothering with a spinner in New Zealand conditions? It's a complete wasted pick. You're essentially going in with 10 against 11. Shoaib Bashir took 4 wickets on day one in that Test match. I think it's a loss for England that they're not playing Bashir. I understand the reasoning for it, but he will just give you something that you do not possess. And that is what the best bowling attacks have. They have variety. They do still have variety, England. They've got a skill-based bowler in Jofra Archer who can target left-handers. You've got out-and-out pace with Archer, but with Wood, right? You've got a nagging line and length man, consistency from Atkinson. You've got an aggressive, shorter ball or back of a length bowler coming from a very tall release point in Brydon Cast. And then you've got Ben Stokes, right?
Who's a genius.
Who is a genius. And there is variety in there. But if you don't play Shoaib Bashir in the first Test, well, I'm telling you what, you ain't playing him in the second Test, which is a day-night affair, and then you get to Adelaide, and where are you in the series?
And then he hasn't bowled.
Exactly.
And then they're in a situation where they've planned for him to play for 4 years, well, for 3 years since he's been inside, and then suddenly he's not playing. So it is kind of strange, and it's going to be interesting. I don't think they will go for a spinner. I thought what they would have done is this Test is gone for 4 quicks and gone Will Jacks or Jacob Bethel as kind of a part-timer just in case they need him. I just thought this pitch was going to be green, it's going to be bouncy, it's not going to last 4 days,
And I think Seam's going to be dominant. That's my personal... We all might be proven wrong. We might get to the game and it's flat. Yes, there's pace, but it's nice and true. And people are leaving it, people are cutting it, people are pulling it, and it's a belter. We don't know. But from the pictures I've seen, I'd put my bowling boots back on. It's green, and I think it's going to go through, and I think there's going to be a bit of movement, without a doubt.
But Australia will still pick Nathan Lyon, won't they?
Well, yeah, because he's been one of their biggest players. He's got 562 wickets, mate. At 30. He's as good as anybody.
He's as good as Simon Harmer. He's a man of form, isn't he, at the moment? Bowled South Africa to victory a couple of days ago in Kolkata against India. He's been speaking to the boys in the Following On podcast. He believes this Ashes tour is make or break for Shoaib Bashir.
Look, Shoaib Bashir hasn't done badly, but I think Australia is going to be the litmus test for him because they're going to want the seamers to come back, and they're going to do that by putting Bashir under pressure. And for a young spinner, he's got great control. But obviously the Ashes is a big occasion, and it's dealing with that pressure and dealing with the expectation on day 4 or day 5 of being the guy to bowl a team out to win the test match for your country. So it's going to be a big test for him. And I think if he comes out the other side, he will be the only spinner that England look at for the foreseeable future. And if not, I mean, there's not a lot of spinners that are ready to step up into that role from the county system as it currently stands.
It's a bit of a shame that Simon Harmer's in India right now, not in Australia. Hey, if things have maybe been a bit different, he could have been playing for England over the next couple of weeks.
He'd have probably been qualified now, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he chose to go back to South Africa. What a choice that is for him in the end. I mean, he's been fantastic. And we all know in county cricket, playing in the English game, he has been the best spin bowler now for, 10 years? He's been ridiculous how good he is. And he can bat as well. And now South Africa are seeing the benefits of having him and Maharaj. To be honest, they've probably got the best spin attack in the world now with those two.
Can I just throw you an interesting side note to the spin chat? Shoaib Bashir, as a spinner, as we know, does not have a first-class record that suggests he should be playing in an Ashes series, right? But it goes beyond that. He is, I imagine, a player that we'll look back on in 10, 15 years' time. It'll be he'll probably still be playing in 10, 15 years' time. But he is obviously captained brilliantly by Stokes. This is his bowling average. This is just before the summer. Under Stokes, 12 matches, 51 wickets at 32. Under Pope, 7 wickets at 64. First class record, 19 wickets at 83.
Amazing, really.
It's amazing that it was a good job that montage came out, wasn't it, on social media a couple of years back that made the England WhatsApp group. Yeah, that's the genius, isn't it, John, of the captaincy of Ben Stokes. Back to the cricket in a second, but first the Women's Champions League. Big game for Arsenal this evening, just 1 win from their first 3 matches. Tonight they're at home to Real Madrid, and a goal for talkSPORT, Ian Abrahams.
And the goal has gone to Real Madrid. Arsenal 0, Real Madrid 1. Caroline Weir with an absolutely stunning volley from 12 yards out. It was a free kick way on the right-hand side. It was nodded back towards the edge of the penalty area. And there was Weir about 15 yards out with a stunning right-footed volley. Nothing the Arsenal goalkeeper Van Dobselaar could do about that. Arsenal 0, Real Madrid 1 approaching half-time.
You're listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT with Brooks, 18+, at gambleaware.org. Up next, it's over to Darren Gough. He's going to give us some of his best and some of his worst memories on just what it's like touring Australia. A very good evening. You are listening to talkSPORT. It's kickoff. It's an Ashes preview special. Sam Ellard, Darren Gough and Jon Norman looking ahead to the big series that starts in the early hours of Friday morning. Back to the cricket in a second. But first, the Women's Champions League. It's half-time in the game between Arsenal and Real Madrid. And Ian Abrahams, there's work for Arsenal to do in the second half.
There is. Arsenal 0, Real Madrid 1. Caroline Weir's fabulous volley on the stroke of half-time from 15 yards out separates the two sides. The ball headed back to her about 15 yards out, and right-footed, she thumped it on the volley past Van Domselaar. It was an even Steven half until that point, but this is a goal which has ramifications at a moment for Arsenal. The defending champions would drop outside the top 12 in the league table and wouldn't go through to qualify. They still have 2 games after this, but this is not ideal. At half-time, Arsenal 0, Real Madrid 1.
Cheers, Ian. So just what is it like to tour Australia? Thankfully, we've got a man in the studio who knows a thing or two about doing just that. Another man who's been on a tour to Australia before is Chris Wokes. He says that going over there is a massive step up for any England cricketer.
You know, it's definitely a step up. In Ashes series, there's obviously the scrutiny around it and everything that I've just talked about, you know, the build-up, and there's a lot more media coverage, and, you know, naturally in Australia, I think cricket seems to be followed, especially in the summer. So cricket seems to be followed a hell of a lot more than what you get in the UK. And you know, everywhere you go is, you know, there's reporters, there's cameras, and you know, as a professional player, you're kind of used to that, but you're not used to that sort of intense scrutiny from the opposition public. You know, Australians like to know, you know, who they are and who you are, and I think, yeah, until you experience that, you don't really understand what you're stepping into. And I think naturally, you know, Ashes series, you know, brings drama, and everyone looks back on Ashes series, and I think that's always in the back of your mind as a player. But I don't think I was, you know, I'd been to Australia before, so kind of half knew what to expect, but I hadn't been on an Ashes tour, and certainly a step up.
Yeah, Goughy, before every England away Ashes series, you hear loads and loads of ex-players talking about how intense it is out there, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. You know, you go for dinner of an evening, you get some stick, you go and get a coffee in the morning, you've got people shouting abuse at you. Is it actually as bad as everybody says? Is it that intense that everywhere you go, you get stick?
No, not really. I didn't think that. I get the media around England cricket team going there is huge. And when we walked through the airport and suddenly there was all those cameras there and lights, but I embraced it. I loved it. And I got that respect back from Australia pretty quickly. You're going to get stick wherever you go in the world. I've had it all around the world. And Australia is no different. But if you stand up and you perform, they respect you instantly. And they've done that with Vaughan when he's been over there and done well. They've done it with me when I've been over there. They've done it with Broad. I know they slaughtered Broad to start with, but they respect him. That's why he's now working over there in the TV for this series, because they loved the way he went about playing his cricket, you know? And you've got to take it and embrace everything that goes with playing for cricket for your country, especially in Australia. It's the best place in the world to play and tour. Without a doubt, there's no doubt in my mind. It is a wonderful, wonderful country with so much to do. You feel at home because it's very much like this country, except for the weather and snakes. But other than that, you perform at cricket, you're respected instantly.
How strong, John, do England need to be mentally over the next few weeks? We've seen the years gone by, you know, some players, you know, maybe don't make it through a whole Ashes series. Do these players, though, strike you as people that are, as Goughy says, going to embrace it, embrace the challenge, embrace some of the stick, and almost go out there, chest pumped out, and be like, yeah, bring it on. We're going to give it our all.
Yeah, I think they are. I think this is a very different... And I think that's what has been key to England's successes over the last few years. Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum have made it possible to get the 11 players out on the field and to take away as much of the external noise, as much of the stress as you can. And you only have to hear Stuart Broad, who's come out the side and talked about it, and Jimmy Anderson. These are two, you know, they say you can't teach old dogs new tricks, but these two guys essentially came out of that dressing room going, wow, we've been in that dressing room for 15 years and this is unlike anything we've ever seen. And they bought into it. Now, if you can get Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad to buy into this, there must be something good there, right? I mean, Goughy, you know those two.
Well, keeping your central contract's a big part of it as well, by the way. They were getting older. So, but yeah, I think...
You know what I mean?
To persuade, definitely. Broad can be stubborn, and we know Jimmy.
Right.
Definitely. Both of them are stubborn, and they did buy into it. And... to be fair, they both still performed right to the end.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anderson could easily have gone on another 5 or 6 test matches, without a doubt. And Broad could have. We saw Broad finishing the way he finished his test career was fantastic. And they were both delivering. And the difference is, and he's right, John, this team has so much confidence. It's almost got an arrogance about them. And to beat Australia, I think you have to have that. Because there's no doubt whatsoever, Australia, when they are performing, they bully every team they play against. And this team will not be bullied. They'll not be intimidated by Cummins and Stark and Khawaja. There's no way. I mean, if anything, I think England are going to be the ones on the front foot with totally more voice than any of the Australians.
Go back to 2023, right? England bullied Australia, and that is as timid as I've seen from an Australia side. They didn't like it. They didn't know what to do. And they went into their shells. Now, they didn't lose that series, that Ashes series. They were 2-0 up with 3 to play. And yet they could have lost it 3-2. You know, and I think that the England team, you know, Goughy, when you look an opponent in the eye, you know whether they're a little bit scared of you.
And there's more character in this England team than Australia, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So I think that the stress of the situation, I think the stress is all on Australia's shoulders. I really do. Now that can change, and it can change quickly. And the quickest way it can change if something happens to Stokes. You know, there is an England team with Ben Stokes in it, and there is an England team without Ben Stokes in it. And it's as different as night and day. And unfortunately, over the last couple of years, we've seen tests where Stokes can't play at all. We've seen tests where Stokes can play but can't bowl. And it's affected England's success rate. You know, England, producer Scott flagged up a little stat, which I hadn't actually been thought of. England under Stokes, I think, they've won every single test. Or was it you? Did you say it, Sam? I can't remember. Anyway, the first
test match of
the first test of an overseas series.
Yeah,
they've won. But the problem with England is they tail off. They don't know when they've won, right? And also, of course, there's been occasions where Stokes hasn't made it to the final test match. That, again, going back to the start of the show, is another massive variable. Because there's one thing walking out their chests out and enjoying the moment when you've got Ben Stokes with you. Who wouldn't? I mean, he is the alpha male, right? But if he's up on the dressing room rather than with you in the trenches, that's another one.
Why lower the mood, John? We're having such a nice time, weren't we? Such a nice, fun hour, getting you all excited about England's chances of going to Australia and winning, and you don't even put out there into the air, John, the possibility of Ben Stokes getting in.
Well, Ben Stokes says,
think about that.
Ben Stokes says he's playing all 5, so I'm not going to argue with Ben
If he
Stokes.
says it, I believe him. It is approaching 9 o'clock then on talkSPORT. You're listening to a Kick-Off Ashes preview special. At the other side of the break, we're going to be joined by a couple of familiar voices. Double Ashes winner Steve Harmison, and also we're going to get the Australian perspective from Jared Kimber. That's next on talkSPORT on Kick-Off.
History at Hampden. Scotland are heading stateside, and Steve Clarke can hardly find the words.
This is the best feeling. I've waited a long time. I've spoken to you before about how much I want to go to a World Cup with my country. I had the chance as a player. It passed me by for various reasons. I'm going to enjoy myself tonight and tomorrow night and the night after that.
And former Scotland midfielder John Collins believes no one deserves this more than Clarke.
It's been 4 years, 8, 12, 16, 24, 27. Here we are. At last, we can put it to bed. The Tartan Army are going to be there where they should be.
Yeah.
They brighten up every tournament they go to.
Meanwhile, Danny Murphy says Scotland captain Andy Robertson could be Liverpool's best ever left-back.
Robertson's been amazing, really. He's back in the team now for Liverpool for a reason, because they know how reliable he is and, you know, what a leader he is. In terms of longevity, consistency, you know, the things he's won, okay, he's not won as many as people back when Liverpool win every year, but he's still been part of a really successful era and made that position his own for years.
As Wales made the playoffs, Harry Wilson says the Cardiff Stadium will intimidate whoever they get. Elsewhere, Steve McLaren has stepped down as Jamaica head coach as they failed to reach the World Cup. Meanwhile, if being the leader of the free world isn't enough to impress your son, what can you do? Introduce him to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Darren got to meet him, and I think he respects his father a little bit more now. Just the fact that I introduced you. So I just want to thank you both for being here. Thank you very much.
Ronaldo was at the White House for a dinner alongside Gianni Infantino and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And ahead of the first Ashes test, the Perth groundsman says this month's Metallica gig at the Optus Stadium has not stopped him producing a decent pitch.
Every year we say, oh, the cracking's going to be there, it's going to be there. That's not going to change. The cracks will be present later in the game. What I really knuckled down this preparation is ensuring that pace and bounce is spot on for day one to ensure that even battle.
England have gone with pace in their 12-man squad. Mark Wood and Jofra Archer are set to start a test together for the first time in 5 years. There's more on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube channel.
A very good evening. You are listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT. It's an Ashes preview show. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Alongside me for another hour is talkSPORT's cricket editor Jon Norman and England legend Darren Gough. After weeks and months of build-up, the wait is nearly over. In around, 29 hours' time, the first ball will be bowled of the 25-26 Ashes series as Bazball faces its toughest and most important test yet. After winning in 10-11, England have lost the last 3 series in Australia by 5-0, 4-0 and 4-0 scorelines. But you know what? This is a different England team, isn't it? We got Bazball, we got belief, we got hope, and I think there's a real feel of confidence and excitement that this England team can go down under and pull off a result. So we're with you until 10 o'clock this evening. A little earlier on this afternoon, the H&J show came from the Sixes Social Cricket Club in London Bridge. We had a lovely, wonderful afternoon, and while we were there, myself and Goughy sat down with double Ashes winner Steve Harmison, and also from an Australian perspective, the top writer, broadcaster and cricket commentator Jared Kimber, for a lowdown on what to expect over the next couple of weeks.
I think they'd probably rather have 2 of their best bowlers available to them, Sam. I think if they're, if you're asking them, I think they'd feel that. I think they feel a lot better about their batting now than they did maybe 3 weeks ago. I think Marnus making runs has at least made them go, okay, finally someone's shown some form. So I think there's an element of that they're quite happy about. But yeah, when it comes down to it, like, they thought they had a much better bowling attack, and who knows who'll even bowl for them by the end, right? It's getting a little bit grim. So yeah, I don't think they're as confident as they were beforehand.
What's the makeup of this Australia 11 going to look like come the first Test match?
From what I understand, Marnus is going to open the batting, and Cameron Green's going to bat at number 3, and then Brendan Doggett will be the seamer who comes in for Josh Hazlewood now, isn't it? Because Boland will obviously come in for Cummins. So yeah, it's not quite what they were hoping for, but that's what they've ended up with. I still think they're backing talent over fit, right? Because they got Marnus batting. You're worrying about the spinner.
So Webster's going to play as well?
That's the one.
Well, he has to, though, doesn't he? Because if Weatherall's not going to open,
which I thought he would.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
So, all right, so if Labuschagne goes up there and Cameron Green goes 3, Bo Webster's got to bat 6 then, surely.
Yeah, I think they want
Well,
Green.
he has to.
I think they want Green and Webster in the side.
Well,
that's one of the reasons they moved Green to 3 in the first place, is so they could fit 2 all-rounders in the side.
Wow.
Yeah, but I thought that was down to the fact that they didn't have a recognised opener in Marnus. I can't believe Marnus will open the batting. I mean, that's great for England. I think that's great for England. Marnus opens the batting.
I'd be shocked if
I think it's brilliant for England that Marnus going in at opening the batting, Green at 3, Webster at 6. I reckon England will be. Ben Stokes will be over the moon with that come toss time. Where if I'm looking down the team I've got here, and Weatherall, Khawaja, Weatherall, Labuschagne, Smith, Head, Green, that's for me, and Carey at 7. That's a balanced team, balanced top 6, top 7. I think if Steve Smith hands Ben Stokes a bit of paper at the toss and it reads no Weatherall, Green at 3, Labuschagne open the baton, and Webster at 6, I think England are even more of a chance.
I think they think Marnus and Green are better than Weatherall, right? So what is the bonus they're getting out of Weatherall? Like, he's a fine player, and he might get a couple of games, but he's not Marnus, is he? So if you can fit Marnus in, you can have Green maybe Green bowls, 3 spells in the test match at most? And then Webster bowls to Zach Crawley and a little bit of, donkey off spin occasionally when they need him. I think they're looking at that going, that's a better setup for them at the moment. But I could be wrong. But if you look at what they do, they usually back talent over fit, right? It does mean that Green and Marnus will both be in the wrong position. But Green was the best bat they had in the West Indies, batting at number 3.
But I would say that was a bit like what your England side looked like. A lot of bits and pieces cricketers, a lot of players that can fill different roles, but not actually the best players.
That's batted 3.
No, even before that, the likes of Mark Elam and players like that. Your side was 2 seamers, 3, 4 all-rounders because we didn't back our batting to be good enough against the top bowling unit. For me, that stinks of that, doesn't it?
Well, a little bit, and it'll be interesting where to go with it, Australia. So, that's what... listen, I can see it happening. But, I mean, if I was a selector of Australia, which we're not, I'm saying, what if I was a bowler now, me and him are speaking as bowlers, and we were looking at that batting lineup, and if they went in without Weatherall, and they went in with Marnus at opening against the pace of Wood and Archer, I think I'd be happy. And I would be happy as a bowler.
I'm also looking at it and going, Webster 6, Carey 7, Stark 8, Doggett 9, Boland 10, Lyon 11. I mean, that's some tail. That is some tail.
There is a point where I don't think they would have done this, but if they hadn't had so many injuries to the fast bowlers, what they actually could have done is left Lyon out and used Webster as the spinner and moved him down the order. So Carey could have batted 8 and Webster at 7, which is suddenly a really strong side. Unfortunately, they've got no bowlers
All right,
anymore,
do you think they're definitely going to play Lyon in Perth?
Yes, they have to now. Yeah. I don't think they were going to. I don't think that was their original plan 2 months back. Right?
Or they could play Weatherall and Webster and leave out Lyon. So that'd be more balanced.
Well, that's going to be like what England are going to do.
Yeah,
England are going to play 5 seamers.
I'd take that. So if Australia did that, I'd go, well, that's better balance straight away. That gives them a little bit more depth in the batting as well, and it makes them stronger. Obviously, the thing is, they're leaving out a guy who's got how many test wickets? 600?
Who bowls overspin, right, in a place where it bounces.
And he gets bounced.
But to be fair, Bo Webster is, 6'6". I know his off-spin is not front line, but he's going to cause some issues at times. You don't want to run down the wicket at Bo Webster and get one to bounce over the top of you. We just had that in the sixes enough for all 4 of us actually had the same thing. So I think there's an element of they might have gone with that if they felt more comfortable in the seam bowlers. But now they've got Doggett in. And remember, Boland got smacked by England the last time they played, right? I know he was brilliant in Australia, but the last time. So I don't think they're certain on their bowling attack. I think you need Lyon.
If you're going to do that, it just stinks that Cam Green's not fully fit.
Yeah.
And it's a 5-match series. And if he's not fully fit in the first one and you're worried, you're picking a team for that. I mean, from England, I think clapping your hands. England are doing something similar because England are going to... I can't see England playing Bashir. England will play 5 seamers. No. And I think I would always be against because I'm always of the opinion if 4's not good enough, well, what's the point of a 5th? But I think with the way
they're
Stokes,
worrying about the injuries, aren't
I think they're just worried about workload, where I don't think they're worried massively about workload from Australia's point of view. I think they're worried about the Stokes workload, the Wood workload, and I think it's more of a balanced gamble by playing that over the course of Labuschagne being out of position. Green being out of position. Webster at 6, which gives you a bigger tail, especially with no Cummins in there. So for me, I mean, England have named their 12. I don't see Bashir. I think Bashir's just in the squad for the simple fact.
I don't think he's playing either. Yeah.
No, I don't think he is playing. But I think he's just in the squad because of the fact that McCullum and Stokes have basically backed him for the last 3 years. He had to be in the 12-man squad. But I'm excited about this bowling attack. And when you look at, if it is Webster down over, like we've just mentioned, I mean, Carse, yes, 8. Gus Atkinson with a test 109. Archer, 10. Even Wood can swing the bat. There's 40-50 runs, I think, between two tails. Difference.
It could be.
That could be the difference in winning the Test match.
And I think that's why Michael Neser was on standby, right? Because they were thinking to themselves, give themselves an option. Because Michael Neser can bat. He's not a number 7.
Oh, he can proper bat. He can bat.
He can bat at number 8 in Test cricket. And then you got Stark behind him. And suddenly, that looks a lot more solid again, right? To be fair to Boland and Lyon, they actually have made a few runs down the order. They're not... I don't think they're as good as Woody, right? And they don't cause the chaos that Woody does, but they're not terrible number...
They're number 11s, borderline 10.
Well, I was going to say, Hazelwood's probably the number 11 in that side, isn't it? The other two guys are probably number 10s, probably a little bit more. So there is something there. But yeah, it's a lot different than the old days when they had batting all the way down.
4 years ago, England were surprised, weren't they, when Scott Boland made his Test debut and the rest is history. The new boy, Doggett, should we be worrying? What are we going to expect when he takes that new ball in a couple of days' time?
It's a great story. Obviously, it'll be the first time Australia goes into a Test match with 2 Indigenous players in Doggett and Boland. They'll probably bowl together at one stage as well, which is awesome. He's a bit of a late developer. He's one of these bowlers who probably no one thought was going to play for Australia, and then suddenly picked up the wobble ball and has gone from being an average player to really hard to handle. For me, I don't know if Harmy and Gough have seen many clips of him, but he reminds me a little bit of Matt Henry. He sort of he moves the ball around off the seam, and he doesn't lose a lot of pace off the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So I like that. He's also very good at using the crease. So notice that specifically. He'll come in really close and then really wide, a bit like Woody does as well.
He's not what you'd say is like skillful, like Jimmy Anderson skillful with the wrist. But he's very, very skillful, like Jared mentioned, with angles. Very good with angles. I was with Ryan Campbell last Wednesday, and Ryan Campbell raves about him. He thinks he was excellent. He was really good for Durham. He had a good time at Durham, and I think if Durham can get him back, I think Durham will try and get him back for next summer and the summers after. But he said he's one to watch out for because he's actually quicker than you think, and I think that is the key for England batters, that his speed gun might look and say one thing, but it actually hits the bat a little bit harder.
And the most important thing about that is, look, we know seam bowling's dominated in Australia state cricket the last few years, and he's been the one who's benefited, and now he's suddenly at the top of the tree. He's going to make his probably Test debut. But I think what we've got to remember is, the pitches, we're expecting them to be 4-day pitches, unless they go back to how they used to be, a little bit better, and spin coming into the game on day 4 and 5. I doubt that's going to happen, especially in the first 2 matches. And what he does well, and what Cummins does well, and what Hazelwood does well, and Stark, they bowl at the stumps.
Yeah.
And Boland, they bowl at the stumps. In Australia, if you do that, you've got a chance of taking wickets. My worry about this England attack, other than Stokes and Carse, they don't really bowl at the stumps. Woody can do. But Woody's going to be bowling 12 overs a day.
But England's batters,
4-3-over spells.
England's batters hit the full ball very, very well. They're comfortable.
They also nick them and all.
Yeah, well, everybody nicks them. But yeah, I think England's batters will be comfortable if Australian bowlers bowl at the stumps.
Harmy, Jared, thank you for joining myself and Gough on the preview show. Very quickly, score prediction, Harmy?
3-2 to England.
Jared?
3-2 Australia.
Well, there we go. 3-2. To Australia, to England. We'll find out, won't we, over the next couple of weeks there. Big thanks to Steve Harmson and Jared Kimber for joining myself and Darren Gough a little bit earlier on this afternoon at Sixers Cricket Social in Bermondsey. We had a wonderful afternoon. The boys were in good form, and interesting thoughts there, particularly from Jared on the makeup of that Australia top order. He reckons that Marnus Labuschagne is going to open the batting, which perhaps might surprise some people. Let's go back to Ian Abrahams watching Arsenal Real Madrid in the Women's Champions League. Moose, and an equaliser for Arsenal.
Arsenal 1, Real Madrid 1. The equalisers come from Alessia Russo. It was a cross from the right-hand side for Chloe Kelly. And Russo had been absolutely starved of service up until that point. Headed beautifully from about 10 yards out over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Caroline Weir with a sumptuous first half volley had given Real Madrid the lead. Arsenal on the attack at the moment with Rousseau, whose shot is blocked, but they're very much back in it now, the defending champions. Arsenal 1, Real Madrid 1.
Cheers, Ian. Regular updates throughout the course of the rest of the game with Ian Abrahams. You're listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT. We're Ladbrokes, 18 plus, gambleaware.org. And up next, we're going to be picking our favourite Ashes memories. Good evening, it is talkSPORT, it is Kickoff, it is an Ashes preview special. Sam Ellard, England cricket legend, Darren Gough and talkSPORT's cricket editor Jon Norman looking ahead to the big series that starts in the early hours of Friday morning with you until 10 o'clock this evening. I tell you what, boys, we had a laugh this afternoon, didn't we? Down at the Sixers social in Bermondsey, we had a hit, didn't we, in the net.
How did you do? First, so we all first innings.
There's a video of it.
First innings.
First innings? What do you mean first innings?
So what did you get first innings, Goughy?
Oh, did you have a practice, did you?
No,
John, the only thing
first innings.
12. What's his first
What did you get first innings?
The only thing that matters is what was recorded live on H&J, and I scored a very respectable 12 runs for my 6 balls.
Have you ever heard of of a one-day international where one team has 2 innings and the other?
I've heard of a one-day international where you can only bat once, and I batted once.
You batted twice.
12 runs.
I mean, you literally batted twice.
No,
Yeah,
right.
he had a practice basically. That's what he's saying.
All right, I'll be honest with you. I
Yeah.
did have a practice.
And he had some private coaching with a legend from the 2005 Ashes.
A man that never even scored one Test match half century. I mean, it wasn't great coaching.
Not
was it,
Harvey.
Steve? Yeah, it was Harvey. Yeah, yeah. What did you get, John?
13.
13.
I came
And
third.
the man that got more than anything in this sort of, it's like a net simulator, isn't it? Where you
Yeah.
kind of do it, where you can actually see
Darren.
someone charging in and bowling some spin. We got Darren Bent wins.
But
He
do you
got
know
18
something?
runs.
We did the same thing last year, and Darren Bent was winning, and then I went in, didn't I, last year, if you remember.
to save the day.
And I got the high score. And this year, I got it in the bag. After 4 deliveries, I was what?
I think you had 15, didn't you?
15.
The first 4 deliveries.
And then I got
You
skittled.
bowled in the dot.
So I lost 2, and then a dot missed the last one.
So you basically bowled it, Goffey, didn't you?
So I basically ended up ahead of you.
Well, let's not say I bottled it, because Pressure is one of the shows on our How to Win the Ashes.
It is.
Oh, is that right? Good plug there, Goffey. Seamless plug for the new Darren Gough YouTube
We should
show.
probably have mentioned it when we were talking about spinners as well, because that was episode 2. So it's out there. Following on podcast feed, check
Where
it
can
out.
people get it?
How to Win the Ashes with Darren Gough. And the next show's tomorrow, and it is, I mean, it's ridiculous. Michael Clarke,
wow,
a guy that won an Ashes as a captain for Australia and then retired. Well, he basically gave up the game after losing in 2015. Matt Pryor, a guy that actually won in Australia,
of course,
and our very own Harmy, and Flintoff's on it as well.
That's a pretty good lineup, that, isn't it?
Following on podcast feed.
Goffey's back with the bang. All the big names wanted to come and chat to you on your brand new show.
I'm the only loser in that group.
You're the biggest loser.
Played
in that
4,
group.
1, 2, lost him.
Harmy didn't have a great record in Australia, but
No, but he hangs on that 05, doesn't he?
yeah, and fair enough.
And yeah, quite a good accomplishment, wasn't it? Talking then of 05, that possibly is maybe a lot of people's favourite Ashes memories. I want to get you guys to pick out a memory, a moment that stands out to you. Let's start with you, Goffey. This is what you've picked.
Ian Botham, 26 fours, a 6, and 145 not out. He came to the wicket when England were in dire straits at 105 for 5. It has been a phenomenal innings.
Take it away, Goffey.
Special that. Look at the, I mean, just looking at the picture there, iconic photo, Ian Botham. Never say, I mean, he just never give in, did he? And I think, well, I was 11 years old then. So for me, it was a hugely influential part of my life. And watching that on TV was massive. From nowhere to get the wickets and runs he got that series was remarkable. And England were following on, miles behind. He smashed 140 odd to all parts. Was it Dill who was with him at the other end?
Or Graham Dilley.
Yeah, but then
he shared in partnerships with Bob Willis and Graham Dilley.
Who weren't the best 2 batters. But then it was Bob Willis who took 8 for, wasn't it? Running down the hill, ball quick, and England won that Test match. It was an unreal moment for me. So that was massive.
Jon Norman, big boots to fill. This is yours.
Cummins in again, and it's hit away for 4! England have won this match in the most extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah, that's one that I remember a little bit better than Goffey's, John. But yeah, I think we all remember where we were for that one.
It still gives me I'm literally just got goosebumps.
Where were you?
It was there.
Where?
Well, Headingley.
Oh, you heard about the Ben Stokes and Jack Leach. Well, we didn't win it, did we?
Well, this is the thing. We didn't go on to
memorable,
win.
wasn't it?
We didn't even win it.
Well, we won that game, and that stopped.
And that kept the series alive.
And that kept the series alive. We ended up drawing it 2-2. Yeah, I know. You can look. This is a glorious thing with the Ashes. You can talk about Ben Stokes in 81. You could talk about, any of 3 or 4 moments in 2005.
Yeah.
Talk about, England running through the Aussies in 97, the disbelief. I kept running out to my dad saying, they got another one. You can talk about Dean Headley at Melbourne in 98. Talk about your hat-trick in 99.
Goffey's 50 in Sydney, iconic.
94.
You can talk about, you could talk about so many. Jonathan Trott, Alistair Cook and Andrew Strauss at the Gabba. You could talk about Australia being, do you know, my initial memory my initial thought was Australia 2 for 3. And I'm talking about England's 2 for 3, right? Not in Australia's 3 for 2. I'm talking about 2 runs and 3 wickets at Adelaide in 2010 when they won the toss at the ground to end all grounds where you bat first. And they were 3 down inside 20 minutes. Ricky Ponting, gone. Simon Katic, gone. Michael Clarke, gone. Inside 20 minutes, and England go on to it. I mean, there's so many amazing Ashes memories, but Ben Stokes at Headingley, 2019. If I ever see anything like that again, I'm a very lucky person.
It was iconic. Obviously, the other one was winning at Edgbaston in 2005, I think, when Army got that one caught down the leg side.
Yeah.
Right, little bit of luck, but hey, you need a little bit of luck to win series, so that was pretty special from remember. First Test match, 97, when we won at Edgbaston.
That's what I'm saying, you and Caddick. And then Thorpe and Nasser with a big partnership.
And what about that partnership where, was it 500 for the first wicket?
Yeah.
We batted all day without losing a wicket.
517 for 1, I think.
That was brilliant.
I was there. Yeah. So I loved it. Every leg by, every stroll single, I loved it. And by the end of that game, there was no Aussies. You know what it's like out there. If it's all well and good when they're on top, but as soon as England get...
Well, I never saw them not on top.
I'll tell you another one. I can't even believe I haven't met. If Matt Pryor was here now, it'd be hitting me around the back of the head. Boxing Day Test. 2010. Australia bowled out for 98. And then England 157 with that loss at stumps. I mean, come on.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
It actually can't get any better than that.
I guess it could have been for naught, couldn't we? But we really clutching. For naught at the end of that day. Oh, yeah.
Cook and Strauss.
You can't get any better than that, can you?
Cook and Strauss walked off.
That's the perfect first day. More Ashes memories in a second, but a third goal in the Champions League game between Arsenal and Real Madrid. Ian Abrahams.
Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1. Arsenal have turned this one around. A second goal for Alessia Russo. It was a Beth Mead corner on as a substitute. Corner from the left-hand side. And Russo left all alone, unmarked, centre of the goal, 8 yards out. Buried her header into the back of the net. 2 goals for her in the second half. And Arsenal have completely turned the game on its head. Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1.
Cheers, Ian. I thought we were doing first Ashes memories, not favourite Ashes memories. I was a slight late bloomer into the world of cricket, but the 2009 series is my first proper memory of cricket. Of course, it was Freddie's last series, wasn't it, as an England player? And I remember the Test match of Laws in particular, him taking 5 wickets in the last innings of the match to win it for England. The iconic celebrations, down on his knees, arms out. And that was my first memory. Freddie bowing out, taking a 5 for at Lords. That was really special for me, John.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, watching those images of Beefy, Ian Botham, for cricket fans or sports fans today, you probably won't realise just how famous Ian Botham was in the 80s. He was a superstar. You know, cricket and, you know, created these heroes that properly transcended the sport. Goughy actually was... He used to host Saturday Night TV on BBC in front of 20 million. I mean, you're a household name.
Don't boost his ego anymore.
Hang on,
Come
Freddie,
on, John.
hang on. It's not that many cricketers have done it. And Freddie is one of the others. But Beefy was a superstar. And still
a league above anyone.
Yeah. Proper famous.
And he's still the best all-rounder England have ever had.
Yeah.
Now,
over a period of time.
It can change now. Ben Stokes wins this series, wins the Ashes, and has a great series. Yeah. He takes over Beefy. And I hate saying that, but I like all 3 of them. Stokes, Flintoff, both of them are all magnificent characters and cricketers. But Stokes could be number 1 after this series.
Some great Ashes memories, and fingers crossed, boys, over the next 6 weeks we'll have plenty more good England Ashes memories we can look back on in years to come. It is exactly 9:30 this Wednesday evening on the Ashes preview show. Up next, we're talking about Joe Root, England's best ever batsman, still yet to score 100 in Australia, but surely it's coming in the next couple of weeks.
about Bradman, you talk about Tendulkar, you talk about Corley, Brian Lara, Root is right in there.
Wow. Joe Root tucks the ball away into the leg side, and you can hear the shouts from the Hollies stand as they celebrate. Joe Root reaching 100.
Probably the best I've played with in terms of he's probably England's greatest ever batter, and the way that he manoeuvres the field with a bat, he makes it look easy.
Ball's driven down the ground, a beautiful shot, wonderful shot from Joe Root.
He's an amazing player, but also he's an amazing bloke, and I feel very lucky to have shared a dressing room for as long as I have done with him.
It's not about you at the end of the day, it's about how you can affect the team winning and how you can add to that and then be able to enjoy that together at the end of it. I think that's what I play for. That's what makes it so special to me.
I'd love to see him finish his career with 100 down here. I think he's been absolutely sensational.
Good evening, you're listening to talkSPORT. It's an Ashes preview special on kick-off. Sam Ellard, England legend Darren Gough, and talkSPORT's cricket editor Jon Norman with you until 10 o'clock this evening. We're now talking Joe Root, England's leading run scorer in Test match cricket. In the history of Test match cricket, there's just one person that has more runs than him in the Test arena, and that's Sachin Tendulkar. He's got over 13,000 runs, 39 Test match hundreds. But one thing he does not have is a Test match 100 in Australia. Surely, Darren Gough, surely in the next 6 weeks, that will no longer be a thing.
Well, if England win the Ashes, he's going to have a couple to his name. He'll be in the 40s, I've no doubt. He's a terrific player, averages over 15 Test cricket, over 150 Test matches. And there's no doubt. I don't think his career is defined by him getting 100 over there, but I think people will go from saying he's the best player England have ever had. He might be the biggest run scorer. They'll say, not got 100 in Australia, that's the ultimate test. And they might say he's still one of the greats, but he's not the best. He might be the second best or the third best. But I still think he'll get 200s in this series.
Will it be a stain, John, on his career if he comes away from this Ashes series, retires as an England player and has never scored a ton in Australia?
No, it won't be a stain, but it will be mentioned. And those that...
Blemish.
Those that want to focus in on it, namely Australian cricket fans, will no doubt raise it every single time his name is ever mentioned from here on in. But I tell you something that is never, ever, ever said. It's Shane Warne wasn't a great bowler because he had a poor average in India. Mm-hmm. Shane Warne wasn't that great a bowler because he never took a fiver at Lord's. No one's ever said that, but both are true. That isn't a stain on Shane Warne's career. It's not even a blemish. It's just what it is. Mm. Shane Warne was a legend. And Joe Root is one of the greatest batters that has ever played Test cricket.
Yeah.
Whether he scores a century or not. That's not to say that the individual won't be so desperate to just get that 100 and one will become two. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And if England win this Test series and they win the Ashes, then so be it. You ask any Australian bowler or any Australian player or any Australian cricket fan worth his salt, which is the wicket you want to get?
No, it's Joe Root, absolutely. And that's why they go at him as well. We know they're going to go at him. They're going to go at Stokes and Brook. For me, they are the three they're going to go at. They're the heartbeat of that team for me. Root, Brook and Stokes.
Can you should also just factor in a couple of other things. Firstly, Joe Root's played in 3 overseas Ashes campaigns, right? So 2013-14, when he was still kind of new to the team was falling apart around him, all around him. People were going home injured, ending their careers, retiring, loss of form. Mitchell Johnson and Ryan Harris, Mitchell Johnson may have bowled better in South Africa on one series, but essentially he'd never bowled better than he was bowling in this series. And England, it went horribly wrong, and Joe Root, was dropped for the only time in his Test career. So it's one of the 3 when he didn't score a century. Look at the other 2. He was the captain of a losing side. All of the stuff that goes in. He wasn't just able to concentrate on his batting. He was the captain as well, and it wasn't going wrong. And the second of those was during COVID. And not enough is made of the fact that what England had to go through just to play in those Test matches, you do not win in Australia the best of times, and this was the opposite of the best of times. So there is a kind of reason in and amongst there why he hasn't performed to quite the levels that you've seen everywhere else. But go back to what we said before. He is one of the best batters that has ever played the game ever. And that's without scoring a Test century. So in Australia. So
he will do. He'll get 1 at least, but I think he'll get 2.
How many?
I have no idea. Who knows? Who knows? I just do not know. But I do think that if he gets one, he will get two.
He's very much
more
like Vaughan in that respect. I mean, you look at Vaughan's first-class record. I mean, it was probably steady, right, rather than being great before he got into the England side. He got into the England side and he showed some class without, again, being top player. But that one Ashes series, he went over there and he scored run after run
2002
after run.
or 3.
I mean, when he gets in...
Three daddy hundreds.
3 daddy hundreds. When he got in, he cashed in. And Joe Root is very much like that. When Joe gets in, he flies.
Can I just throw something else in there as well? Look at the bowling attack Joe Root has had to come up against in the last 2 Ashes series. The best bowling attack Australia have ever had. Now, of course, he's going to come up against a bowling attack. He's not got the captaincy. Fantastic. Obviously, we're out of COVID. Excellent. There's no Pat Cummins. Phenomenal. Seeing some of the deliveries that have got rid of Joe Root in the past, there's no Josh Hazlewood. Even better. But the pitches, they're not flatties. They're spicy. These are 3-4 day test matches. So conditions are going to be really, really difficult for batting.
I'm not having the best bowling attack all time. Not
look, pace.
All round. McGrath.
I'm talking pace.
Gillespie.
Pace.
Johnson, Brett Lee.
Well, Johnson and Gillespie.
Yeah, they crossed over, but Brett Lee as well. Shane Warne.
Forget Warne.
How can you forget Warne? If he's playing against you,
I'm talking about pace.
You're very unlikely to get 100 if he's playing against you.
3-man pace attack better than Cummins, Hazlewood and Stark for Australia.
In terms of how long they've done it for, Gough, it's hard to argue that.
The best.
Yeah.
You name the best, better 3-man bowling attack, pace bowling attack than Cummins, Hazlewood and Stark. You've got 19 minutes. I don't think there was
people maybe argue back in the day the West Indies when they were
I'm talking Australia.
Their powers.
I'm talking
McGrath, Gillespie.
Australian.
McGrath, Gillespie and Brett Lee would have been pretty impressive.
Okay, well, you two
I
argue
wouldn't
over
get Brett
that.
Lee in ahead of any of those.
Let's hear, shall we, from former Australia captain Michael Clarke. He appeared on the latest episode of How to Win the Ashes with the one and only Darren Gough, and he gave his thoughts on Root's record down under.
The conversation now about Joe Root, right, hasn't scored 100 in Australia. I know he would love to, but I see that as the icing on the cake for Joe. Yeah. I don't see, if he doesn't, I'm sure he'll look back in time and go, I wish I did. But, mate, his record is his record, and you cannot take that away from him. He's an all-time great player. But no, I don't think it should make or break your career, especially these days. There's so much cricket, teams, and it will happen now as well. We'll play this Ashes series, which will be the biggest thing for the Australian fans and probably the England fans. But from a player's perspective these days, after the 5th test, mate, the boys probably go into another series. They probably get on a plane 2 days later and have to play India in India. So their brain transitions so quickly, yet, in our time, the Ashes was massive build-up, generally one-day cricket before the test series starts. So the energy's there, then everything is about the Ashes. And if you lose, it's like the longest flight home ever. So I think a lot's changed, to be honest, Goughy, and I don't think you should be just judged on Ashes series. I think, like I say, as a player, your career is your career, and I think that's what you should be judged on.
You can watch the full episode of How to Win the Ashes on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel from tomorrow morning. In the final part of the show, we're doing our Ashes predictions. Before that, boys, I want to talk to you about Harry Brook, because it feels like lots of people are putting I think we almost know what we're going to get with Joe Root. I think we're almost confident he's going to score runs. But I think with Harry Brook and the way he plays, it feels like he's either going to have a generational series where he gets 600 runs, breaks all sorts of records, and wins England the Ashes, or it feels like it's going to go the complete other way. And we see the worst of Harry Brook, charging Pat Cummins or Josh Hazlewood, whoever it might be, and he gets out in the most stupid of ways. It feels like, Goughy, there's nowhere in the middle. It's either going to be really good from Harry Brook or really bad.
That's the way he plays, but he averages nearly 58 in Test cricket in 30 Tests. It's not like he's only played 5 or 6. We know the way he's going to play. I've got him down to be the top run scorer in the series, but it could easily go wrong. But I think Harry Brook's one of those players. He could get 200, right? Get 100 in the second innings, then he could go 0-0-0.
Yeah.
Right? That's the sort of player he is. But I'll tell you what, he's a match winner, and there will be fear. There will be fear of Harry Brook, because they know if he gets in and he bats for 40, 50 overs, England are scoring a lot. Simple as that.
How important is Harry Brook, John, for England over the next few weeks?
He is the most important batter.
The most?
Yeah. He is. I mean, one of the reasons for that is he scores so quickly. So if we are looking at 3-4 day games here, then a batter that can score as quickly as Harry Brook and essentially is batting on such a level that he can take pitches out of the equation in a manner that we saw in Wellington in December, where wickets were falling everywhere and there was Harry Brook, 170 odd, and pulling out all the shots. And we've seen him, his overseas record is actually better than his record at home. He can change the course of a match in the same way that Travis Head can change the course of the match. You know, whether it's Harry Brook or Joe Root, top of the run scorers, you can make an argument for both, right? But if Joe Root and Harry Brook score exactly the same amount of runs, it's obviously going to take Joe Root a lot longer to get him in. And in a series like this one, you just feel 2 sessions of Harry Brook in a low-scoring test match can be the difference between winning or losing.
Yep. It is kickoff. It is talkSPORT. We're with Ladbrokes 18 Plus, the GambleAware.org. The Ashley Preview Show is with you until 10 o'clock this evening. Up next, I'm putting the boys to the test. We're doing our Ashley predictions. A very good evening. You are listening to talkSPORT. It's kick-off for an Ashes series preview show with you until 10 o'clock this evening. It's Sam Ellard, Darren Gough and Jon Norman. So then, boys, in the final 10 minutes of the show, I think you know what's coming. It's time now to do some predictions, and I'm sure we'll all look back on this in a few weeks' time and be embarrassed about absolutely none of it. Goughy, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it, mate.
Johnny boy, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, we start with a nice, an easier one than what's to come. Start with you, Goughy. Top run scorer, please.
What, for both teams?
In the whole series, yeah.
Labuschagne, Australia. Brook, England.
Okay, which one? Just one. We're going for one. Top run score in the series.
Labuschagne.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Why is that, Goughy? Found some form, hasn't he?
Found form. Yeah. He knows this is his last chance. He's got back in the Australian side. He's been in and out. He went through a horrendous time, but he's gone and put the hard yards in. Playing county cricket, playing grade cricket. Score, what, 500-600s? I think he's going to be top run scorer.
John?
I'm going to play it safe, but class is permanent. Steve Smith, Joe Root.
Okay, I've gone safe-ish. I've gone with Harry Brook. We spoke earlier, didn't we, about something to be great or not great with Harry Brook. I'm backing Harry Brook to have a generational series and lead England to glory. So I'm going for Harry Brook. Top wicket taker. I'm happy to kick this one off. I've gone Mitchell Starc. I think, obviously, we know Hazelwood and Cummins missed at least one of the test matches. I'm not sure if any of the England bowlers are maybe going to get through all five. Perhaps maybe not too many will play all four. So I feel like Stark's going to play the most test matches out of any of the fast bowlers, and we know his quality. So I'm therefore going top wicket taker, Mitchell Starc.
Well, that's the obvious choice. I do fancy it, but he's never really been the top wicket taker, has he? He's always been... I'm going to go Ben Stokes.
Ooh!
I think he'll bowl.
I like that, Goughy.
I think he'll bowl enough to get the most wickets in the series, and he's going to play every test.
I like it.
I wouldn't hang my hat on many of the bowlers bowling all five test matches, so I'm going to go with Jofra Archer for England. I think the first two test matches are going to give him plenty of opportunity to take some wickets. So Jofra Archer for England. And Australia is a really tough one. I like your school of thinking. Mitchell Starc will probably play all five. He's got cheat code for pink ball tests. He will take a 5 for there.
Boland?
Yeah, Boland is a really interesting one as well. I'm going to go with Boland. Yeah,
That's a good shout. I tell you, England are going to come at him.
Yeah.
It could go two ways. He could have a go, nick. He's going to end up with 5 for 10 again. Or he could get smashed all apart.
And I think he will play because, I can't see Cummins and Hazelwood playing too many test matches together. They might play that second test together. Apart from that, they're not going to all play back-to-back tests, the 3 back. So I think Boland could play. Will play 4, maybe 5. So yeah, Boland and Archer.
Okay, surprise player to look out for. John, will come to you first on this one. Is there a player that's maybe going under the radar and not spoken about too much?
Well, certainly with England there is. Jamie Smith. Yeah. Nobody is talking about Jamie Smith. No. It's really difficult to work out how he's going to go in Australia.
Both keepers. Carey's good as well. Nobody's talking about him.
Carey's more experienced, and he's really experienced some dark times and has actually become one of the most dependable batters in the lineup. They're both in form. I just wonder with Smith. I love watching Jamie Smith play. He hits the ball beautifully in the V, crisp, hits it hard, young, good, really good attitude. But he does kind of hang the bat out there a little bit, and that extra lift, I'm a little bit concerned. But if that isn't a problem, he could come in and really do a kind of a Gilchrist kind of, the Aussies think they're 4 or 5 down, they think they've done the job, and then Jamie Smith comes in and just... Yeah. So I think Jamie Smith...
That.
Yeah, you happy with that, Goughy? I had Jamie Smith.
No, I'm going to go Cameron Green.
Okay.
For Australia. I think he could get important wickets and he could get runs. He's tall, aggressive.
Do you know?
And in between, that's those Labuschagne, the slow batters they've got, Khawaja, Smith. I just think he's going to be vital for him. And if he scores runs, I think they go a long way to winning the Ashes. Yeah, and for England, I'm stuck here between Cass and Crawley. I'm going to go for Crawley. Okay. Crawley might just surprise everyone.
Yeah, I was thinking Crawley.
The one I'm most looking forward to here, I want a hot take, and it's got to be sizzling hot. It's got to be something that when you say it, everyone's going to laugh at you and go, what are you going on about? But that's the point of a hot take. Goffy, you've got a real left field row prediction that probably won't happen, but hey, who knows? It's fun to think about it.
Bashir won't play the first test, and he'll come in and end up taking 2 fifers, and England win the Ashes in Sydney.
That's hot.
That is hot.
Sizzling hot from the Goffy.
I'm not sure mine's quite as hot.
Joe Root to score runs.
England to win the Ashes at the Boxing Day test.
Okay, no, I'm liking that. I'm happy to. I've gone a bit more player-related, my one. I've seen one video of him on social media and it looked like he was bowling quick and he brings something different to the attack. I've gone Josh Hull to play in one of the 5 test matches. It's supposed to be a hot take. So the way you
I like that.
The way you looked at
That's
me
what
there,
you
John,
wanted.
That is where I wanted
that look.
Who's he coming in for? They've got Potsy there, by the way, who's just
that different angle, left arm angle, quick, bowling heat in the net.
He's not quick. If you would have said Potts to come in and be the MOM in Adelaide...
It's supposed to be a hot take, Goffy.
That is a hot take. He's not even in this squadron of these 12.
He's there. Series prediction coming up.
Here's my other hot take. Ollie Pope to be top run scorer and to hold the urn aloft at the MCG.
That's sizzling hot.
That's
Good
sizzling.
stuff.
That's more of a hot take.
We have a full time in the Women's Champions League. Arsenal, Real Madrid, talkSPORT, Ian Abrahams.
Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1. The holders turned it around here, trailing at half-time to a sumptuous volley from Caroline Weir against her old club. 2 goals in 14 second-half minutes from Alessia Russo gave Arsenal victory. The first was a Chloe Kelly cross from the right-hand side that she headed into the back of it, looping the header over the goalkeeper. The second from a Beth Mead corner. She powered a header in from 7 yards out after being left unmarked. In the end, Arsenal were comfortable winners here. 2 games to go. They should qualify easily now for the next stage of the Champions League. Finished in front of just over 3,000 here. Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1.
Cheers, Ian. We've got 30 seconds, boys, so very quickly. Of course, the final question. Goffy, series prediction?
Could go either way at 3-2, but I'm going to go Australia to win 3-2.
John?
3-1 England. England win it at the MCG.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys, for your time over the last couple of hours. And again, if you like your cricket, of course, John's going to be doing regular updates for you on talkSPORT. But I really recommend checking out the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. There's going to be daily content uploaded to that channel every single day of the Ashes series. If you like your podcast, the following on podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. Here we go, boys. The Ashes. Friday morning. I cannot wait. And come on, you England. The Sports Bar's next.